So, Section 1, Assault of the Demonic Sword, beginning. Still no battles here. The Demonic Sword, though. Section 1, Lostbelt. Assault of the Demonic Sword, beginning. Boy, oh boy, here we go, everybody. I've always hated Sundays. That's a false statement. Sundays are awesome days. It's because I hate my father. No, it's because I hate my mother. No, it's not that either. When I was little, I wholeheartedly embraced their dreams for me. I really thought everything they talked about would come true. I didn't need to hate them. I didn't even need much in the way of parental love from them. I believed that I would one day reach the sixth imaginary element, just as they wanted. I would be the one to make my family's long-held dream come true. I had gained the power I needed to accomplish that. But even so, I hated Sundays. Detested them, even. I loathed having to spend all day Sunday at home. The home I grew up in, with my parents. From the time I woke up until the time I went to bed, I felt as though the giant ceiling was crushing me to death. I don't hate my parents. I respect them. I'm proud of them. That much has never changed. You don't like Sundays because you were born on a Sunday. Interesting logic. I don't even, actually, now that I think about it, I don't even know what day of the week I was born on. I could look it up, actually, easily enough, but I honestly don't know. So then, what did I hate about Sundays? I don't know. Oh, that's trippy. Report from the computer room. So far, the Zero Sail is looking just peachy. Just kick back and enjoy this little voyage through the sea of time. We've got 150 kilometers to cross. At our current reduced speed, it should take us about an hour or so. I did hang out with my friends for past 6 Sundays, which are enjoyable. That's good. Yes, that is a landline ringing. It's an old relic of thing that nobody actually uses. I think that we mainly keep the landline because it's part of the package deal we get our internet and TV from. So, yeah. Uh-oh, someone's not happy about this trip. What about all that bluster you were spending a little while ago? I know this is only second voyage, but you should be used to this by now. Am I wrong, Gordolf?
Oh, yes. Did you need something? Technical advisor at tea time. Is it tea time already?
Worried, Commander? Yep, that was a landline.
Of course not. I wouldn't waste my time on foolish sentiment. I thought I would feel better after we defeated the servant who destroyed Chaldea, but I don't. At all. My poor four flush. They were my finest private army I ever had. They may have been a bunch of thugs and hoodlums, but they did their job damn well. After this whole mess is sorted out, I'll need to pay life insurance, once I scrape together more than a penny to my name, of course. That said, this way of getting around is beyond pale. I'm a man of the land, not the sea.
Just spam calling us. That's pretty much what it is as well here. It's literally just spam calls, too, but... I mean, I don't know, I don't pay the bills, so I don't question things.
Not that I hesitate to board a submarine to save humanity, of course. But I may be better about seasickness now, but I don't think I'll ever get used to this Zero Sail nonsense.
So you still feel bad even though you're not seasick? Are you claustrophobic or something? Fax machine with a built-in phone. Nice. You can always F with the telemarketers. True enough. Very, very true enough. You can indeed. You can indeed.
Foo-foo-foo! No, I'm not claustrophobic. I mean, I don't care for the void space business. Not something that I'm just going to get used to. Let me be clear. Getting used to danger means losing sight of security. Oversights, betrayals, bankruptcy, victories, getting revoked by judges. All these sorts of retribution come from carelessness and arrogance. You can't assume everything will be sunshine and roses just because these things happen to go your way once. Not to mention that verifying the existence of void space may be a great feat, I'll admit, but be honest, you still have no clue what it is, do you?
Not really at all, dude. Not really at all.
I make it a rule never to go on any machine I can't drive myself, and yet... void space is only a tiny bit of a handful of mages have ever so much as touched. And just thinking about floating around in there makes me... oh no, I think I'm about to be sick. You say that and your complexion tells me you're feeling just fine, Rudolph. No, Mr. Rudolph, I admire your gumption.
One sounded like he was trying from India trying to sell Viagra while we were driving to his parents for Thanksgiving. Nice. Remember one of your friends answering comments like, I'll buy your product if you sing me a happy birthday or some other dumb shit. Yeah, we did get Napoleon Baka. Napoleon is currently on banner now.
The rest of the staff are equally versed in science and magecraft, but you, Director, are mage's mage. That is why traveling through the void space puts you so ill at ease. You are keenly aware of both the benefits and risks posed by the Zero Sail. Yet despite that, you are doing your utmost to remain calm and collected. That is truly keeping your stiff upper lip, as they say. Commendable. You must have hit rock bottom quite a few times in your life. Perhaps you are accustomed to being in dire predicaments at this point. I'm accustomed to nothing of the sort. I've never once crossed the finish line in last place, I'll have you know.
Vulnerabilities of any drug would probably kill you. You're not wrong there, Destructive. You're not wrong. Cross the finish line in last place? I've never heard an expression like that before, Director Gordoff.
Well, of course you haven't. Once you get to be a man of my caliber, Miss Mash, even the expressions you use take a special life of their own.
That's the first time he's ever addressed me respectfully. Hey, Gordolf is growing nice. I always knew he had it in him. Yeah, Holmes needs to work on complimenting people.
That was a compliment. Good grief, her experts certainly are different. Then again, he might be easier to talk to as an administrative advisor if he were a caster. I very much doubt that. My spirit may change, but I'm quite sure I would remain the same. If you require proof, I was a caster when I first met Sol. Even now that I have made an official contract with Chaldea as a ruler, nothing has changed. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Carolite?
Now that you mention it, that's true. I don't think you've changed at all, Mr. Holmes.
Well, alright then.
Most non-food / plant-derived drugs. Fair enough, fair enough. Those kind of drugs would be kind of lethal at that high dosage.
By the way, Technical Advisor, what's our itinerary for this voyage look like?
Huh? Director Gordoff, Da Vinci just briefed us about that right after we arrived in the void space. He blacked out. Nice, Gordoff. Oh. I'm sorry, Mr. Gordoff. We had no idea you had lost consciousness when your eyes open.
What? Come now, don't be absurd. I've handled the G-force from an acceleration of over 250 kilometers per hour. I'll have you know. I say, what about you, youngster? Yes, you, Sol. Your file says you frequently fall into REM sleep. I believe it even said you could do it standing up, if I'm not mistaken. Is it some special skill of yours?
That's right. Sol Rem. Oh, nice. Oh, very, very nice. That going in the background, that is the dryer buzzing to let me know that it's done. I record in a basement. I don't sleep in the basement, though. I have my own bedroom. I'm not a basement dweller. I'm not. I promise. Sol Rem. But who is Rem?
Huh? No way, I was just kidding about the skill part. Are you people alright? At any rate, it seems you doze off just as easily as I do. Do you remember that briefing was about? Perhaps now would be a good time to reveal all of that now while we're at it.
I would like to live in a basement. Yeah, it's obviously as an in-law suite. Oh, boy. Yes, that's a good point. I'm sorry. No, but as for Senpai, I think he went off to have lunch with Fo after we left on the Zero Sail.
You heard the old man, would you be so kind as to summarize our current situation for him?
Is it summer full blast, TS? Yes, it is. And I'm so happy about it. I love summer so much more than winter. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer the heat. You live in an in-law suite and it's nice too? That's cool. Sure, if that's what he wants. If that's what he wants, okay, let's go over the immediate itinerary again. We just entered the Scandinavian Peninsula right around here. At the moment, we're still diving through the stormwall. Where is here? Like a warm by like my PC cold, I can never get tough from PC. People using the words basement in 2020. I'm starting myself head over heels for you, so why? Why are you doing this for me? Who is Rem? Who is Rem?
ReZero, I can't wait for Season 2!
Our current route should be... We should then emerge here in Northern Europe at the southern part of Sweden. It's only a 10-kilometer trip, but since we don't have any connection to Scandinavia, surfacing at our intended destination will come down to a combination of dice roll and navigational genius. And since I've got my hands full making sure our coordinates go fluctuating all over, we have no way of knowing if there are any hostile entities on the other side. So be ready for an even rougher emergence than the one we threw in Russia.
So in other words, entering one of these Lostbelts inevitably comes down to the luck of the draw, eh? Just to make doubly sure, is there any way we could ignore Scandinavian Lostbelts and head straight to the North Sea? Certain conditions need to be in the place for us to emerge inside a Lostbelt, right? Then why go out of our way to do that?
Oh, I hope so. I definitely ship Subaru with Rem more than with Amelia. I completely honest, while Amelia looks cool and looks awesome, Rem is better. Rem is best girl in ReZero. Yes, I said it.
Even though we don't know the Wandering Sea's exact coordinates, we can just get up. If we can just get to the North Sea.
I know, but I'm afraid that's not possible. We're currently skipping right next to the border between reality space and void space. And it's the only way we can peek into reality from void space, which we have to do if we're going to emerge somewhere we like a connection to. In addition, the amount of power the Shadowboard consumes in this mode is directly affected by the amount of real-world distance we travel. I mean, it would have to be, given that we're following reality so closely. And at our current power levels, there's no way the border can zero sail more than 300 kilometers near the mirror world plane. So we have to emerge in the Scandinavian Lostbelt if we're going to stack up on the journey to the Wandering Sea.
Is she now? I haven't actually read the manga or LN or whatever it is, the source material. Yeah, I haven't actually read the source material, but I do know that Rem is best girl. Alright, so yeah, the zero sail business sounds good on paper, but it certainly has more than its share of drawbacks, doesn't it?
Although I don't know the exacts, but I do know that there is a side story of what would have happened if Subaru had ran away with Rem. And how they would have lived a full life and all that, and when Subaru finally dies of old age, he's flashed back to that point. That would be... Good lord, that would be terrifying to experience, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, if we want to go driving and emerge wherever we like.
Yes.
Well, we can't. Neither the board nor myself are up to that. At least not right now. Sorry, Gordy. Anything that calls Protect Senpai, you go bananas. Not anything, Infinity. Not anything. And Betelgeuse, or I can never pronounce names right. Beetlejuice is not. No, he's not. He is not. In my opinion, I don't know. If I have to live this exact life endlessly forever. I mean, theoretically, yeah. It depends on circumstances, but I suppose, given that you said exact life, yeah, I would agree. Things would get stale before too long.
Oh, sorry, and sixpence will give you won't even get you a decent cup of tea these days. Fine, you're saying you want the real lab with full facilities, right? Once we make our way through the Scandinavia and meet up with the Wandering Sea, then things should improve at least a little, yes?
You got it. I'm glad you're such a quick study. So as I was saying earlier, let's just click back and enjoy the last bit of our journey. We're currently off from the real world time by about 10 days. We'll emerge from void space as soon as we're through the storm wall. So it's just what happened in Russia then. I mean, one of those enormous trees really is here in Scandinavia too.
Indeed, we could see it for ourselves before we even began the journey through the storm wall.
Imagine Super forgot to save and had to redo everything from the start. Everything from the start would actually make Subaru probably better off, because, you know, he would know a lot more. A lot more. And he did try to restart the loop to save Rem as well, so, you know.
If we just happen to emerge near the tree of emptiness, we will need to choose between leaving Scandinavia behind or investigating the tree. Regardless, we'll no doubt be able to make our way across a considerable bit of land once we reach the inside of this Lostbelt. I encourage you all to remain calm and in control so that we may better react to whatever awaits us.
Yep, tried to restart the route to save Rem.
Although, when the Russian tree of emptiness came crashing down, it did so in a rather indecipherable What was that?
Oh no. What's coming at us? Something's pinging our omnidirectional sonar. What the? There's something with a fixed wavelength moving around.
Something with a fixed wavelength? Do you mean there's something else here besides the shadow border?
Shiny Charmander, nice. I love what Shiny Charizard looks like. He looks so cool. The new Gigakvid. I have not seen it.
Wait, what? Hold on. Just hold on. You mean to tell me there's something alive out there? In void space?
Fo-fo! Ah. Rolling for a Stalfo. I see.
Indeed, under normal circumstances, nothing could possibly exist in void space unless it were itself composed of void. There are exceptions, though. Namely the all-terrain void transport shadow border, and its crew, and the paper moon. And that can only mean...
There's someone or something else that can travel via Zero Sail?
Although it would require technology that surpasses Atlas's, I wish I could say that was entirely impossible, but we can't rule it out. Da Vinci, are you seeing anything on your end? Your eyes should be good enough to... should be a good deal sharper than ours.
I'm sorry, but I got my hands full keeping track of the real-world terrain. I can't spare any cameras to see what might be near us. Oh, but I have noticed one thing that's strange. The shadow border's been running really smoothly for a while now. So there's definitely something out there in our vicinity. I just couldn't tell you what it is. What is that gap there? Hold up, hold up, hold up. What is that huge gap in the text? Next to getting Waver. Waver is good too. The border's also got Magecraft and Spirit radars in addition to the sonar, but they're not turning up anything either. Since I can't imagine there could be anything living in the void space, I'm guessing it's using soliton-like wave conduction, but...
We...
Dr. Gorov.
We're under attack!
Oh, for who was that saying the old man had gotten used to this stuff?
There must be some sort of monster or servant with the ability to zero sail. They could be anywhere.
Well, going through the void, could King Hassan be coming to help us? Wishful thinking, perhaps? Perhaps. But still possible.
Yes, that's a distinct possibility. I expect him to mention something along those lines, too. As I recall, he said that while he was unable to freely move between the Lostbelts, Koyang could do so. And it's difficult to imagine she employs the same method that we do, though she may well have her own means of crossing dimensions. There you see. You also liven the terrible for yourself. These Lostbelts are obviously full of monsters. It wouldn't surprise me at all if one of them was a writer with just that sort of skill.
Do you even hear yourself? This is void space. The whole dimension shouldn't even exist. There's no way there could be anything here besides the border. Electromagnetic fields of people starts. Ah, okay. I honestly didn't know what that was, and I was going to look it up later, so thank you, Destructive, for telling me.
Creature expert with the ability to conduct a zero sail. I noticed Miyamoto wanders between parallel worlds, but only in that she tumbles from one to another.
Ah, Metal Gear Solid.
She's only a drifter who keeps falling through realities because all of the possibilities have abandoned her. There's no being in all of reality's space. Besides us, you can freely travel between dimensions. That at least was what the Atlas introduced Trismegistus said as of 2018. Still, it's not something we can rule out entirely. That we are here ourselves mean it must be possible for someone else to be here as well.
Can't you cap that yourself, Holmes? You're just gonna work up the old man even more.
You're just get even closer.
Please calm down, Director. I know this may not put your mind at ease, but I think I sense something. Something close.
Is it something we've seen before? That's a good question.
No, I don't think so, but strangely enough, I also don't think that whatever it is malicious. In fact, I think it might even be kind of warm and comforting.
Oh, come now. That's standard demon operating procedure. They bait their hooks with kindness. Well, I'm not falling for it. I'm going to listen to my own instincts. Listen up, all of you. I have no desire to become an adventure crazed, not like the rest of you. Oh, God, that's good, Gordy. That is good. An adventure crazed nut. Oh, Gordolf, you card, you. But even I can see that making an emergency exit out of void space is the best option here. Therefore, as the director of Chaldea, I'm ordering the Shadow Border to make an immediate emergency exit into the reality space.
Emergency exit? I want to take Mash's side here, but I have to admit, Gordolf has a point. One thing's for sure, there's something out there that even I can't see. You shouldn't take that lightly. So my vote is for the emergency exit, and as luck would have it, we're very close to the end of the storm wall. That said, there's only one thing I've got to go over first. We've already crossed the border. We're currently in what used to be southern Sweden, so we're inside the Scandinavian Lostbelt. But when we emerge, the risks will be even greater than they were back in Russia. Cutting out the future prediction in order to force our way back into reality could result in the entire shadow border coming apart. And it's not just the border, all you could end up seriously hurt as well. If yourselves from 10 days ago happen to overlap with yourselves from just now, just having your body catch up with your own regulatory functions will be enough to make you vomit.
That's a good point.
Are you okay if that ends up happening? Of course, as the vehicle center processing unit, I'll be doing my best to avoid that.
It's probably accurate representation of us IRL. You're not wrong there, Destructive. You're not wrong. Of course, at this point, a little nausea is nothing. Just get us the hell out of here, Da Vinci. I don't want to spend another second with that unknown thing if I can help it. I'm responsible for all of your lives here. As such, I'll refuse to continue avoiding you such close proximity to an unknown entity. Get this out of board of the surface right now. Don't make me repeat myself again. Just hurry.
Alrighty. If you're ready to face the music, I'll do my best to make sure it's a pleasant tune. Manier, I'm going to switch over to the manual. We don't want a safety functions putting on the brakes on autopilot.
Are you serious? Doesn't that completely go against the manufacturer's recommendation? Who's the manufacturer of this? Didn't Da Vinci make it?
Initiating high-speed calculations. Preparing to emerge in...
An emergency alert. Everyone strap in. Take deep breaths while you still can.
I think I'm more on the side of the protecting people hope and then killing them. Yeah, we do that a lot. We definitely do that a lot. Don't worry about that alert. We're just putting a little more strain on the hull than it's designed for. Isn't that incredibly dangerous?
Da Vinci's got this.
Right, you're right. I believe in her, Senpai. Yeah, I really didn't want to resort to this, since it gives me a bad fever. This new smaller body just isn't as resilient as my old one.
I'll do what I can to help. Patch me into the console if you would.
I'll help too.
Thank you. I'm afraid I'm relegated to learning by observation myself. The more hands the better if Mr. Babbage were here to assist us.
I hear you, but I'm afraid the Spirit Origin briefcase alone just isn't enough for someone outside of short battles. We'll just have to make do.
That's... The protagonist decides his best for everyone is complete annihilation. You're not wrong about that either. So that's how we're able to summon our servants. Okay. Awesome. I'm glad we got a canonical explanation for how we're able to summon servants. Excellent.
Man, wouldn't it be great if another Solari dropped into our laps right now? Like, say, now! Damn, it didn't work. Oh well, we're the shot. Guess we're on our own after all. Alright then, let's do this thing.
Kill all the people so we can summon them. We'll be the master of all. Activating Paper Moon, initiating planetary navigation chart. Plus minus convergence. Commencing Shadowboard stocking sequence into the reality boundary. Disengaging Mirror World Plane Voyage. Through the strain I may dissolve, I continue to exist. Reapplying Time Flow Attraction from reality space. 0.4 second difference between target coordinates and the current recognition confirmed. That's well within tolerances, so we're all good to go. Merging from the void space, 30 seconds until arrival at reality space. Zero seal complete. Merging into reality space. The story ends, period. Well, actually... Or the story could end with Nash is the new Eve and the protagonist is the new Adam. Lostbelt Depth B+. The Eternal Icy Fire Sentry Götterdämmerung, then fell of Everlasting Flame. Condense energy from innocent lives. I would probably run away with Abby before the Lostbelt even started. I'm sure a lot of people probably would have ran away with Abby. And looky, isn't this familiar to what is currently in the background? I did look at this map beforehand. I needed to find something. But where is the tree? Also, another snowy Lostbelt. Gosh damn it. Alright, let's zoom back in a bit. The landing point. This one has a Berserker class enemy. Okay. Who to pick? Let's see. Who here? I'll be in China in no time. Maybe.
Let's see. Who is here that is currently on my list in the immediate moment? Who to choose? The only people who are live are actually substitutes. I'm not one of them. Segoisha wanted a massive amount of Saint Quartz, and his enemy was just an attack with Saint Quartz. Oh god, that would be quite the thing, wouldn't it? Let's see if I can't get a foreigner here. Hang on. Is the same person on here? Oh, wait. Am I somehow seeing both the, I think I'm somehow seeing both the, no. Wait. Oh, this is Mix. This is Mix. I didn't even realize that there was Mix here. Good Lord Almighty. I need to pay better attention, don't I? Use your assassin. If I can get you. If you can come up, I will use your assassin, but I'm not seeing you at the immediate moment, unfortunately. I see Shu. Hey, Draconic! Welcome. It's going good. I'm finally starting the actual Lostbelt part. You know, at this point, I'm just gonna take, I don't know. I'm gonna take a, lunchtime. Next is fairly new. It might have been this patch, I don't know. Yeah, it is completely new. Oh! Include matching your story in your party for story quests in the main story to increase bond points acquisition for all party members. Stargazer's Journey bond gained upon clearing part 2 main quests increased by 20% for all allies. This includes does not apply when selected as a support servant. Okay. Let's go to the main party squad. Mash is dress locked here. I think this party setup is actually for the best. Push Mash to be a little bit more upfront and personal here. Although, Abby, you're awesome. You had a really touching interlude. That's not who I selected. But I don't want to make you fight again so soon. So we'll go with Hoku. Excuse me. Or Oi, as I prefer. Alright, let's go. Your next exoskeleton is operating within expected parameters. Internal pressure regulation, combustion, and weaponry are all good to go. Armored shielder is clear to deploy. Well, feeling up to this mash? All the streamers are getting the hiccups. Maybe it's the curse of the Lostbelt, perhaps. Yes, all my readings and transformations are working well. Although... What's up? I thought you'd be ejecting me again. But this chamber and model both seem very different. Well, sure. Last time we were sending you into the thick of an ongoing battle. But this time we're just having you check out our surroundings. Besides, Master's coming along with you, and we can't go shooting you both out, can we? Unlimited hiccup works. Thanks for reaffirming my desire to terminate all existence is justified. I mean, a truly selfish the thing is, though, a truly selfless person does exist, and they're called infants. Oh, thank you for the host, Draconic. Thank you for the host. Ah, right, good point. I forgot the senpai will be joining me. Alright, let's try this again. Are you all set? Yes, armored shields are ready to deploy. You got it. Shadow Border, open the hatch. We are go for our recon mission. Snow once again. Senpai. How are you doing, Mash? Don't worry, I'm feeling fine. And the Yorkshire Axe is in great shape, too. Da Vinci really is a genius. Even after all that intense fighting we did in Russia, it's still in perfect working order. Thanks to that, I should be able to use all my power at any time. All that aside, this place is very snowy, isn't it, Senpai? I can't call an infant selfless since it doesn't have a self, and even then the kid starts to get a self, it's already selfish. At least it's not Russian snow. Fair point. Fair point. It's 3 degrees Celsius, but the wind isn't cold at all, and the air feels crisp and clean. 3 degrees Celsius. That's like in the 30s to 40s. It's still too cold for my taste, but it's not too bad. It feels like a real winter wonderland compared to Russia. I'm sure the temperature will drop to well below 0 once night falls, but right now, I'm just enjoying how peaceful it is. Oh, Mashu, it's really quite romantic here. I agree, I was just thinking the same thing. Wow, not even a blush! I still don't know exactly what this Lostbelt is like, but at least this place seems quite peaceful. Mash is getting used to our flirts. She's not blushing from such a statement anymore. It's enough to make me hope that maybe not every Lostbelt is dangerous. But this isn't really the time to wax philosophical. Let's get started, Master. Perimeter check time! Right, let's start by looking for some sort of hill, so we can get a better view of our surroundings. The bar is recharging for now while it stays camouflaged in the snow. Da Vinci said it would take about 3 hours for it to completely charge up, so let's do our best to explore as much as we can in that time. Temp is 37.4. Yeah, it's still a bit too cold for my taste, you know? Imagine if there's a planet in our universe cold on day and hot at night. Isn't that Australia? Okay, we reached the top of that hill. It's nothing but snowy fields as far as I can see, and there's... Senpai, look! Ooh. That's actually really cool looking. Look at that. It's a white mountain range stretching on forever. I think they're made of ice and snow. There's some sort of blue haze to the north, about halfway along the range. Wait, is that... Aurora Borealis? I'm sorry, what? The mountains are burned. Yes, there's fire burning in parts without trees. I can't see such a thing happening naturally. There must be some sort of magecraft at work. Right, magecraft. Derp. I forgot about magecraft. Good lord. So what this Lostbelt is, where the mountains with white ice and blue flame. And then there's the sun. It's much too big to be the sun, though. At this time of year, completely confined to this Lostbelt. Ah, indeed. This doesn't add up. I've heard parts of Scandinavia can get almost no sunlight for months at a time. But I've never seen anything about the sun being at this size. I doubt any such records even exist. It's not actually the sun, is it? Another thing, I don't see the Tree of Emptiness anywhere. Memory is not the same as ego, and it's also normally people develop differently. Yeah, my first memory, I honestly don't know how old I was, but it was like before even kindergarten. I was dropped off at some sort of daycare, and I just remember crying for my mom and dad. I was so sad. And then beyond that, I remember a little bit of time before kindergarten, but after that, or before that, not too much. Yeah, we did see the tree before we went into the storm, so what's going on here? Well, it's clearly visible from the outside the Lostbelt. I can't imagine it was suddenly wiped from existence, so maybe it's being hit with magecraft.
Well done on the reconnaissance, you two. We finally had a moment to catch our breath here.
Planet's all history channel rotation was locked on one side face the sun all the time in the metal zone where the only safe place for life. Spending a moment leaving it in the car while on a hot day. Nice.
Holmes! It seems you're about 500 meters away. Well chosen. Well, this is just about the perfect distance, since we're still unable to detect any hostile entities. Thankfully, our emergency exit didn't strain the board as much as we anticipated for the time being. Still, we cannot afford to waste any time, which is why, of course, we sent the pair of you out to investigate. A land of fire and ice, It seems that this Lostbelt will present its own challenges, as I feared.
That's all that the sights of our eyes shows.
Thank you. Thank you just the same. We have a fake visual here as well.
Most planets are tidal locked. You only get away from it for a silly match. Moon, remember, my dad was 0 fucks. Just about to watch it was on TV. Played Pokemon Blue at age 3. Couldn't get past Rock Tunnel. Oh. I had to have been like 6 or 7 when Pokemon Blue came out. Or at least when I got it. The sun does indeed appear to be far larger than is normal, but it should be at tens of millions of years before it reaches this size. We still don't understand how drastically a Lostbelt can change its environment, but this one has transformed our sun into a red giant. Were that the case, forget the ice and snow, the whole world would be a scorched desert. While Scarlet may be able to survive such an environment, Mr. Soul would most assuredly not. Yes, which means this may not actually be our sun. So it may well be that something that looks like a sun, but is in fact not. I don't recall anything along those lines in Scandinavian or Germanic folklore, but I'll take another look just in case. Yeah, that's not your typical forest fire. Wait, we're Smokey the Bear! That would be because they aren't. Take a look. Only Smokey the Bear can prevent forest fires. Nothing is actually burning. I'm not sure how it works, but the fire appears to be something entirely separate and floating above the mountains. Mysterious to be sure, but there's little cause to doubt this phenomenon is the result of some form of magecraft. Whatever it is, it must be the work of a crypto or Lostbelt servant. That I can say for certain. Yeah, what could the true name be of this servant? Mr. Holmes really hit the nail on the head, Senpai. Well, of course he did. He's famous for always finding the truth of any situation right away. And of course, for captivating readers with his brilliant and elegant deductions. Ah, that's right. MASH is a fanboy of Holmes. Thank you, Miss Scarlet, though I must admit it's a touch embarrassing to be so fusely praised for the novelizations of my cases. But perhaps that is not so bad every once in a while. I'm not usually one to see up right to the conclusion, but yes, I'm quite certain that the one who created those flames is... What is it? Do calm yourself, foe. Fuck you! Foe. What is that? Is something wrong? Master, behind me! We discovered an enormous humanoid creature. First game I definitely remember playing is definitely Pokemon Red. I know my dad used to play the scary games when I was a child, and it terrified me of scary games for quite a long time. Enormous humanoid creatures, okay? I see, this is troubling, most troubling indeed. He appears to be about 5 meters tall. His arms are also very long, and he's wearing some sort of mask. I think he's speaking a language of some kind, but... I can't make out what he's saying. It sounds more like an animal howling than any language I know of. Hello. Bonjour. Guten Tag. Ni hao. Konnichiwa. Please listen to me. We're not your enemy. We don't mean you any harm. We are... It's no use, Mash. Sometimes, if somebody attacks you, you gotta put them down. Master, I'm afraid he's coming right for us. He's about to attack. I got your back, Mash. I got you. Understood. Moving to intercept the hostile. So, giants, then. Giants are the enemy of this Lostbelt. Interesting. Or Titans. Actually, no. Aren't Titans, like, much bigger than 5 meters tall? Yeah, Titans are huge. This might be heresy. I've never actually watched Attack on Titan. Oh, Jotuns! Holy cow, that health bar. Holy cow. Okay. How do I want to do this? Play it safe for now. I like that ice mask. That looks cool. Okay, I made a good choice here. I will pop illusion. And then a doop. I don't really care about or Mario Legend. You use Those inconsequential games for the PS and PS2 and Wii. I mean, I never actually played Kingdom Hearts growing up. I remember always seeing the trailers for it, and I'm really glad I got to play it in the long run, but yeah, I never played Kingdom Hearts when I grew up. Rotation slows down the time so the longer time the slower it rotates. That's a scary thought when you really think about it. More information that I was at least decent at them, or spend time with your half-brother. Spending time with siblings. Do this. I don't think it's worth going for 2 hundo on Hoku. I mean on Oi. I keep calling her Hoku when she's Oi. Sonic! I remember the old Sonic games. Sonic Adventure Battle was awesome. Can never forget Chaos. Well done, Hoke. Well done, Oi. Well done, and... Ah, no crit. Shadow and Heroes is especially bad. I definitely remember not being so thrilled with Sonic Heroes, but I'm gonna be completely honest here, and it might have just been because I was a very somewhat edgy teen, but I actually kind of liked Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't know if it stood at the test of time for me, but when it did come out, I did enjoy it. I also definitely enjoyed the Pikmin games. That's a lot of bond, even if it is only on 2 servants. I should probably swap Jack out, actually. And we get our first of the giant rings. How many endings did I get? I know I got to the true ending of Shadow. I do remember getting to the true ending of it. Alright, we'll see if anybody in chat is in here, and 1 or 2. Oh, there's Draconic. Alright, Draconic, we'll go ahead and use your... let's see. We'll use your Merlin, I suppose. So do that, and swippity swap Jack out for Melt, because more bond is excellently excellent. Melt, there you are. Alright, let's go. Moon is slowing us down in terms of rotation. That's probably a good thing that the moon is slowing us down. The battle's over. We neutralized the threat. Mashu, you're tired. Thank you for your concern, Master, but I'm alright. The sudden attack just had me a little out of breath is all. That's nothing to worry about. All my vital signs are fine. I'm still good to go. I'm doing my best to analyze the recording and battle data now, but at this point I can only say that the creature you fought isn't nothing like we've seen. Neither a expert nor a demonic beast. He was simply an enormous humanoid creature native to Scandinavia. One could not possibly exist in the 21st century. A giant. The mythical giants. Seems like it. Correct, I'm pleased you're already familiar with them. I read that a number of powerful giants used to live in Scandinavia. Of course, this was all a long time ago. In modern era, there have been barely any giant sightings in Sweden, Denmark, or Norway. I believe most of them were during the Age of Gods, back when the old mystics still existed. I'm sure there are some exceptions, but even so, to encounter one out of nowhere like this. Both Gordon and Miss Monier and something of a titsy about the impossible encounter, but yes, in the year 2020, giants have long since ceased to exist. And yet you've obviously just met one, but one that tried to kill you even after you attempted to communicate with him, but still. I caught a glimpse of his eyes behind the mask, and he seemed consumed by bloodlust. Interesting, Mashu. So in this version of Scandinavia, creatures from the Age of Gods still live. That is most troubling. I had considered the possibility, but I didn't think it would prove to be true so soon. Damn you, Cryptos. Damn you for throwing something like this out of us in only the second Lostbelt. Have you no sense of restraint? Wow. It's rare to hear Holmes get angry. That said, we are far from completely helpless, Miss Scarlet, Mr. Soul. To begin, I've been updated our database with everything I could determine about this creature. We were unable to detect it from the border because Kelly had no information about ancient giants. Furthermore, I also learned something rather unexpected about the ice and snow surrounding us. What about them? They're imbued with a faint magical energy. The trace is so minute that only an expert mage would ever be able to detect it at all. A small amount of magical energy created enough interference in our equipment that we were unable to detect the giant's approach. Da Vinci is still quite upset about it. She says being plugged into function as a bio unit dulls her senses. Nonetheless, I'll do my best to update our data immediately. I'm also sending an update for the Ornitex firmware. Burning excessively heat by the sun, the planet's surface will become painful and eventually uninhabitable if it continues. Without the moon, the magnetic field goes way faster. So the moon is a good thing. We do not want the moon to crash into us, though. Right, confirming update now. Master, I'm picking up new hostilities in our periphery. There's at least one, two, no, several ice beasts traveling alongside another giant.
To the border, Mash!
Understood. I can see them up ahead, Master.
It's time to fight.
Nope, I'm not destructive. I'm not. I admit I'm a little bit optimistic in the grand scheme of things. I might be a little bit of too much of an optimistic. Ooh, what in the... Is Ulthar. Is Ulthar. It's over. It's over. I'm gonna keep doing Merlin and Wava attacks. Guess it means Ice Wolf. That's a good guess. That is an excellent guess, actually, and it's probably what it means. I'm not too fluent in Scandinavian though, so I can't tell you one way or another. Ulfr. U-L-F-R. Ulfr. Yeah, that's actually right on the descriptive. How did you type with the little accent over the I? Do you have a special keyboard or something? Dang it, Wava. You were supposed to... Ooh, that was annoying. So these guys can drain Crit Star as their NP. That's annoying. Heavily annoying. Using a knife on. Fair enough. It's Frost Wolves or something. Having a moon is very important. Example of Mars had a big moon. You can have a magnetic field and some atmosphere. Interesting. I mean, but a magnetic... While a magnetic field helps with creating an atmosphere, a magnetic field is not necessary for one, right? 'Cause, I mean, there's all the talk of terraforming Mars, and that would require them to create an atmosphere on Mars, or on the moon, I suppose. So, I mean, an atmosphere isn't necessary, but or a magnetic field isn't necessary, but it is important. Okay. Hold any layer in other eccentric layer directions. Okay. That's good to know. That is good to know. I might actually try and use that for the next stream to make sure the title is proper for Götterdämmerung, which is quite the mouthful in and of itself. Götterdämmerung, which I am still probably mispronouncing. Can anybody tell me if I'm pronouncing that right? Is it Götterdämmerung, or am I mispronouncing it? If they know, that is. Ah, solar flare that missed. The black, the sun sparkles, not get your atmosphere blown away. I have no idea what you just typed there, Destructive. Not gonna lie. That should wrap things up for now. We defeated another giant and several ice beasts. I no longer detect any hostiles or magical energy signatures in our vicinity. Wait, you're right, Mr. Holmes. I can sense sweet magical energy all around us, coming from the snow. Lostbelt servant controlling snow. In Astasia Part 2? I'm not sure, but that certainly seems possible. Is the double S in German? Ah. Well, let's hash that stuff out later, you two. For now, you should hurry back to the border. Holmes, from now on, maybe start waiting until people are in a safe location before you start with your long-winded explanations. There is no guarantee. There are other giants still lying out there. Both of you get your butts back here. Be careful. Anyway, great job collecting data right after we emerged. This should be a big help. Oh, you just typed random things. Oh, good, you're back. Welcome home, you two. It's good to be back. The Urchin Axe is wonderful, working wonderful. Thank you again for that. Glad to hear it. Gordon was having a little rest. Said he was having a nervous breakdown or something. I guess the emergency exit was pretty hard on him.
Guess all that worrying you did about our scouting making our surroundings after we emerged was for nothing.
I wouldn't say that. He's trying to keep us safe in his own way. Naturally, his primary concern is his own survival, but that's still an important part of being a leader. When things get dangerous, you snap to attention. When things get dicey, you get the hell out.
Because the core went from fluid to solid, so not more magnetic than those protected from solar radiation.
That's how things are supposed to go, but the further removed the higher-ups get from action, the softer they get when the time comes to making those calls. So in that sense, Director Gordolf is exceedingly good at his job.
See, everybody that was naysaying Gordolf back in the first Lostbelt, ha! He's good at his job.
I'm not sure why, but he seems to treat any dangerous field operatives as a danger to his own life. I wonder what that's all about. Maybe he had a really strict tutor growing up or something. You know, it's like someone teaching him to think about war from the perspective of the people he's sending out onto the battlefield.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. That would definitely explain some things. Now that you mention it, he always looked like he was in a lot of pain whenever Sol was in a tight spot back in Russia. Talk about empathy. Aww, Gordy. So, wait, in other words, a possible way to help restore Mars' magnetic field would be to somehow make its core molten again? Theoretically? I mean, that would be exceedingly difficult, I imagine, but, no wonder he was always kicking up such a fuss.
At any rate, make sure you write up the recon findings in a nice report template when you hand it off to him. If you don't mind, that ought to be more than enough to keep old Gordy in the loop. On a different note, you guys really had a rough time out there, didn't you?
Ritsuka and Gordy. The next great sitcom.
Yes, we did. Giants are beings from the ancient gods. Not even mages have seen more than the occasional fossil of them. Any survivors in areas where mystics still in full force are probably seen as threats and taken out by the heroes of their respective ages. There's certainly not something you'd run into every day. I mean, you guys didn't see hide nor hair of them in any of the 7 eras you race-shifted to, right? Not even the actual Age of Gods. And now we just have to run into not 1, but 2 in modern-day Scandinavia.
I believe those giants you encountered were Jotnar. Simply can't make a core fluid again. I mean, that's true. Like I said, it would be a very intensive process to do it, but, like, theoretically, wouldn't it possibly, do something? I believe those giants you encountered were Jotnar, members of the Jotun race, giant race of giants. In the Age of Gods, the Norse world was composed of 9 realms. One such realm was Muspelheim, the land of flame. Another was Niflheim, the land of ice, through which the icy river of poison flowed. When these 2 realms collided, the poisonous frost melted. Then, when it was exposed to Muspelheim sea, it grew to a tremendous giant. This was Ymir, said to be the ancestor of all Norse giants. The race of giants that went on to spring forth from Ymir's body were called Jotun, the frost giants. Those giants were truly belonging to the age when gods walked along the earth. At times, Jotnar would mix with the Norse gods, giving birth to new gods and giants alike. It's said that the surviving Jotnar eventually fell out of mythology and went on to become trolls. What you saw today was no troll. They were most definitely Jotnar.
Yeah, you know a lot about them, Holmes.
Well, I am Sherlock Holmes, you realize. I am the one who finds the truth, regardless of my spirit origin. I believe I said as much when I introduced myself.
There were even masculine aliens on Mars tried to implant into Mechaba and destroyed it, even if it's false. That's an interesting one.
No, sorry, I'm just having a bit, you see. Paper was the only thing I picked up while I was visiting the Atlas Institute.
Try Hermes.
Precisely, well, there I came in contact with the pseudo-spiriton calculation engine, Try Hermes. When I did so, I happened to pursue some secret medical data pertaining to giants.
You just so... Hold up. You just so happened to peruse some medical data associated to giants. You don't just stumble upon that kind of stuff, dude.
Theoretically, at least.
I don't see what's so funny. Don't you haha me, Buster. You're supposed to tell me these things before I need to know them. It's not fair that you get to do all the fun exposition. Besides, we're a team. You know we should be pulling our knowledge and stuff.
I shall take that under advisement, especially considering it comes from none other than the great Leonardo da Vinci herself. All that said, I could certainly use a bit more information myself. Is this simply a Lostbelt where once lost streets of giant silver and smug? No, I very much doubt that this is all there is to it.
Right, the ones you saw today were powerful beings and mystics, but they were still living creatures. Nothing else, I can say for certain, the beings we encountered weren't servants.
Correct, they were indeed absolutely not servants. Based on what we know from Russia, we can assume that there is a being here who rules over the Lostbelt and a cryptor who tends to the Tree of Emptiness. While our primary concern is with the latter, there remains a strong possibility that we will come into conflict with the former as well. That said, our goal this time does not include engaging them in battle. Our intent is to cross Scandinavia without them ever knowing we were here.
Yep, exactly. So we should take a little break first, don't you think? Thankfully, there's a lot more magical energy concentrated here than there was in Russia, so the border shouldn't have any problem recharging. We'll set off again in a little while, so make sure you two rest up while you can. Hiking across snowy mountains does a real number on your legs and back, you know. I very much recommend getting these kinds of things ironed out where you can. Right, but first I forgot to tell Mr. Holmes.
Yes, Miss Scarlet.
Sorry, but back when we had just looked over the mountain range, remember how you and Senpai were talking? At the time, there was something else we wanted to ask about.
Yeah, what about that fire, man?
The fire! Yes, the strange fire that kept burning without spreading. Do you know what it is, Mr. Holmes?
I can't say I know for certain. I only have a hypothesis, one in which I am quite confident. I suppose that would make this more of an induction than deduction. At any rate, yes, the fire is none other than...
Jeez, Holmes, you get cut off every time. Another alert. Foo-foo-foo! What the hell? All our sensors are busted. Crap, no, it's worse. They're working perfectly. Soul Holmes, a freaking enormous magical energy signal just popped up near us out of nowhere. It's like a magical reactor core. This is a monster on par with Angboda, powered by the greater grail we saw in London. Oh man. Hundreds of thousands at once? I mean, isn't that like the worst case scenario for if a nuclear war were to happen? Like, the radiation alone would taint the atmosphere. So, I mean, maybe it's possible? I don't know. Or maybe enough nukes could throw the magnetic field out of whack, perhaps. I don't know. I admit I am no nuclear scientist. That was section 1 done.